Double G, John Manning, Vegas Wayno. Two gentlemen from Elizabeth, one from Staten Island. You see the guard behind me, talking sports and every other thing. The best podcast you don't know about till you do right now. You want to talk about all in Northeast, ethos, pathos, logos, this pod, these three gentlemen, all day. Tune in. You better subscribe. 5-star it. Lock in. People talking sports. And every other thing.
I'm talking sports. Every other thing. I'm talking sports. And every other thing.
Can you believe it? We made it to season 2.
I can't believe it.
John Manning, Double G, Talking Sports, and Every Other Thing podcast, episode 1, season 2. John, I never thought it would happen. This is 2 weeks in the making, disaster after disaster. Finally, I think we're going to make it on the air.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all the folks who have viewed us for hours upon hours after season 1, John. I know your head just absolutely blew up. How many views? 1,500, 2,000?
Yeah, way more than that. Way more than that. We have way more than that. We have way more numbers. I'll get you the numbers next episode. We've had a lot of technical issues to get to this first episode. So I'm just hoping that the audio works well and we can get through the first episode, and then I'll have some stuff queued up for you guys for the episode 2.
Episode 1, season 2. Bring him in, the legend himself, Vegas Wayno.
Vegas Wayno!
And I have to say, Vegas Wayno, congratulations. How is Las Vegas day after the Knights win the Stanley Cup? Tell me all about it. Look at that hat.
Well, let me just say this. The Las Vegas is unlike any other place. Of course, now we're the capital of sports anywhere. But if you saw some of the crowds out in front of T-Mobile Arena, that looked like millions, everybody in the valley basically was there. And after all the celebrations, which went on through the night, and you've been to Vegas, so you know that like New York, it never sleeps. I think they had 2 arrests for misdemeanors during this whole celebration of Lord Stanley and his cup.
And I'm going to tell you why there are only 2 arrests. I think the folks in Vegas have subscribed to the plant instead of the alcohol. And I think folks are just enjoying themselves after a hockey win, Wayno. You understand what I'm saying?
Is that what it is? Is that what you think?
Nah, I think it's just that we're just good people and other.
Well, we know that. You know it. Wayno and I, first of all, very, quick synopsis. Vegas Wayno helped mentor me into television nearly 31 years ago. Give us a round of applause, Vegas Wayno. My dad met him in a bar in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Vegas Wayno.
Eventually I just surpassed him. And Vegas Wayno has claimed for many, many, many years that I stole his job back in the 90s. We're going to solve that problem today. Yeah. Season 2 kicks off. We have special guests, new characters to the show. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Wait, before we get to our very first special guest, and it's a huge one, and I mean it's a big guest. I mean that literally and figuratively.
You have to tell me who this is.
Well, we're not going to get there yet because I want to say this season and this show, let's start it off, is dedicated to my dear, dear friend Chris Mers, one of the toughest men. Do you have a picture?
Let me throw him up. I got a picture of him somewhere.
I just need to tell you, one of the toughest men I know. A TV legend, an audio legend, an audio god in the sports television. And Chris Mers, look at him. He's standing next to the Stanley Cup. And I'm going to tell you this. He is bigger and better than the Stanley Cup. That's Chris Mers. And you know what Chris Mers' motto is? And our motto is, fuck cancer. Fuck cancer.
But what else is there, Gino? You know what I mean?
Fuck cancer. And this guy is the toughest MFer there is. He comes to work. Chris, I love you. We love you. And the crew loves you. I'm talking about Carlos and Pat and Swifty and Kroniak and Rai, Denise, Ellie, everyone, Julia, Joe R. You know who I'm talking about. The Tims. Oh, my God. Graphics and everybody.
The Tim.
I just want to say this season and this show is dedicated to the crew that has kept me sane the last 6 or 7 months, and I just want to say that I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because the next guest I'm going to bring in is a man that I've worked with now, I don't know, maybe just over a year.
Right.
I'll never forget when the bosses said we're going to bring in a new betting analyst, and there's Chris Mers. Let's one more time. The season and this episode is dedicated to my dear friend Chris Mers. And now my next guest is worked with Chris Mers, but he comes in big fanfare for my client in New York City. They said we got a guy, big fella by the name of John Henson. He used to play hoops. Play basketball. He's going to come in. He's going to do some analyzing on gambling. Yes, I know what that means, John. John Manning here to my right. Every time that John Manning hears about a guy he doesn't know, he takes the drink.
Sorry, John. I'm not a big basketball
He
fan.
doesn't know anything about sports except hockey.
Sorry.
Barely. Let's bring him on. John Henson.
John Henson.
John Henson, everybody. Is that some kind of intro, John?
That was lovely. Fellas, how are you guys doing?
Oh, John, thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
No, listen, I'm not kidding you here, Vegas Bueno. Here we go. We got this kid. They say John Henson's coming. I don't know who this kid is.
Yeah.
And they said, listen, he played for North Carolina a few years. He won the ACC Defensive Player of the Year at North Carolina a few times. Is that right, John?
All right.
Yep. The good old days.
Yeah, good old days. What years were they when you were just, slapping balls around the hoop? Remember when you were slapping balls around the hoop?
2010, 2012-ish.
Did you ever call it that, slapping balls around the hoop when you were doing that, or was that just a Gino made up thing?
I was slapping balls against the glass. It's a little bit.
Oh, slapping balls against the glass.
Wayno, you ever slap balls against the glass?
No, but can I go back 1 second, please? I need to.
John Henson's talking about slapping balls
against
the glass while he played in North Carolina. And what do you need to cut in, Vegas, Bueno?
I need to ask you, because
John Henson.
You said your buddy, before we introduced John Henson, that your buddy kept you sane for 6 months. You were never sane in your entire life.
Oh,
yeah. Well, it may be just Gino sane, like whatever sane for Gino is. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Could you imagine if Gino actually went insane? He is insane, but could you imagine if he actually went insane?
No. You know what? I'm going to settle this. Here is. This is perfect timing, Henson. We got this guy Vegas Bueno here, right? Says, all kinds of nasty things about me. I got a big ego. I got this. John Manning to my right. This guy's finest elevator builder in Manhattan, by the way, John Henson. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've known me, I don't know, just over a year. Do I have any kind of ego, or do I just go at it hard?
You're asking me because there's two.
I'm asking you.
Listen, man, you come in high energy, high personality, and
there we go.
The day is easier when you're around. It's easier when you're around.
Wow,
John, that was a huge compliment.
And it's funny how, John, I'm not going to kid you. When you were complimenting me, the video actually cut out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that just tells you what it's all about, John.
So we got the gist. He said,
I get it. But listen, John,
I'm not buying it.
I like to bust John's chops, right? I'm going to be honest here. This guy was a first-round draft pick of the Milwaukee Bucks. Right. Have you ever heard of that?
So he was pretty good at basketball. He was pretty damn good.
I was decent.
Yeah.
No, he was a little bit better than good.
Guy was he slapped the balls against glass.
He slaps balls against glass when he was at North Carolina. I'm going to say this. John Henson, definitely a better basketball player than Wayne Avery, a broadcaster.
Wow. Holy.
That's my first shot at you, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Wayne's been doing this since like 43, 53. What are we talking about, Wayno?
Well, I can't believe that you actually said that, Gino, because, here's a guy who just said that I mentored him in his early years, and now
which one is it, Gino?
No, listen, I'm going to get right to it since we have John on here. I told him I wanted him on the show. I needed him as a referee. This is what we call therapy session show. This is our therapy session. Yes, everybody needs therapy. John, do you agree that everyone needs therapy? I'm talking about John Henson here.
I agree that everyone needs some form of therapy now. It could be, therapist. It could be, the therapy where you sit in the pods and, all the senses are gone and those type things. But everyone needs some type of massage therapy. Everybody needs something.
Have you ever done that, John? The
I
sensory deprivation or anything
Yes,
like
I
that?
have.
Or yeah, tell me about this.
You just lay in there, man, and you like
Yeah.
float in the tank, and you just close your eyes, and it's, when you're playing sports, it's kind of those things where you just kind of, when you find a routine that works. I don't know what it did for my body, but I think for my mental, it helped out, so I kept doing it.
Yeah, huh? See, I've always been curious. I hear people doing it and stuff like that. I've heard some stuff on like Joe Rogan. He does it, and a couple other things. I was always curious about it, but you like it, huh? You would recommend it?
I would definitely recommend people try it. You may not like it. The thing I didn't do, the cold plunge, I think that's just BS. I'm not a cold plunge guy.
No.
But Wayno, do you believe in therapy?
I believe that there are a lot of people who need it. I don't, but people like you who seem
Okay. All right. Listen, we're gonna test the waters here.
We're gonna switch to our Sigmund Freud's office background for the therapy here. So
now
there we go.
Now this is how this game is gonna work. I'm gonna turn over a card, and that's gonna kind of ignite the therapy session. Okay. All right. Now I was kind of gonna do this randomly, but you know what? I'm gonna start heavy. F it.
Going
Fuck
heavy?
it.
Wow.
I turn over a card that says Kubrick, John Henson.
Oh, Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick. What does this mean, Vegas Wayno? What does this mean, John Henson? Does anyone have any idea what Kubrick would mean and why I need therapy?
Can anybody name Stanley Kubrick's finest film?
We'll go to John Henson first. John, could you name Stanley Kubrick's finest work of art?
Yep.
Only thing I know about Kubrick is maybe Here's Johnny, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yes, The Shining. Excellent work by Kubrick.
But not even close.
Not even close. Yeah. Vegas Wayno. Yeah. I know you are a fan of cinema. Usually black and white, because that's back from your day.
I was just going to say that if John Wayne wasn't in any of his movies, I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
But I have
an idea. So I don't know.
All right, here it goes. Henson and Vegas Wayno. Kubrick's finest work was The Moon Landing.
The Moon Landing, ladies and gentlemen. He filmed the Moon Landing.
Filmed the Moon Landing, and we are breaking it here. It's been broken on NASA fails time and time again, John and Vegas Wayno, that Stanley Kubrick's finest work was done on somewhere on a screen set, green screen
in Hollywood.
And they landed a Neil Armstrong and a Buzz Aldrin on the moon. John Henson, now that you have heard this from me, now that John Manning and I have revealed that the moon landing was rigged, 100%. It's completely fake. It's a joke. If you could actually think that this happened, what do you think? Are you upset now knowing the truth?
I am a very sciencey guy. I'm into all that stuff. I mean, we definitely landed on the moon. I don't know why.
All right,
John.
He's saying we landed right on the moon.
You're starting to fall into the world is flat category.
He's not buying.
John, we're not. John, listen. I'm going to you're a smart kid. I know you're a smart kid. I know you a long time.
Yeah.
All right? I wouldn't bring you on the podcast if I didn't think you were a smart kid. I didn't bring you on this podcast because you're of athletic ability. I have proved time and time again in the office that I am the finest athlete at MSG. I have brought you here for your mind, your wit, and your youth. And I'm going to teach you something here today. The moon landing was fake.
Okay,
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Well, John's going to give you one reason, but I went to Orlando, Florida. Vegas Wayno with that pipe in his head. You're listening to this. I went to Orlando, Florida with my children.
It's important.
Okay? They took me into the supposed control room of the launch. Okay? Do you believe me? Okay. Do you believe me?
Yes, but here's the thing. You just said Orlando, Florida. That's like,
I apologize. It wasn't Orlando. Yeah. There it goes. Okay, Double G made a mistake. It was Cape. All right.
I'm not editing it out either.
Damn it! It did not boost my argument, Henson. But I got the wrong city. But listen to me. It doesn't matter. I was at NASA.
Okay.
Vegas.
Okay. Now we're talking.
Okay. I was at NASA.
You're at NASA.
And I saw the control room.
Yep.
With my own two eyes, with my children and my wife by my side. I asked the woman, "Is that The actual control room. She said, absolutely. I took a picture of it. I have a picture. I will send it to you. This looked worse than the TKR cable set from back in the 80s, Wayno.
Yeah.
Okay, John, I saw it with my own eyes, kid. What do you have to say about that? I'm sorry.
Do you think that, I mean, let's get down to the dirty.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do you really believe that was the real, I mean, seriously? Like, you know,
no, but they told me it was.
Yeah,
right.
But they also tell you a lot of things. The government, these guys, you know.
Yeah, like
yes,
like
exactly.
They landed on the moon.
You just solidified my point, John.
All right. So now, John, let me give you my reasons why I think we never landed on the moon. I'll give you two really good reasons, and 2 reasons that you could go verify for yourself. Okay.
Here we go.
Because there's a lot of NASA fails, and I'm sure you've seen a lot. I don't know if you've seen the videos. There's lots of videos on YouTube, and there's lots of videos that you can search out and find, right? Okay. But NASA TV themselves, they make a lot of mistakes on NASA TV themselves, and they ask a NASA scientist on their own channel,
here we go, John,
point blank, why they have not been back to the moon, and his answer was, and I quote almost because it was a long time ago when I seen it, but he said this. He said, we haven't been back to the moon because we destroyed the technology to do it.
I know that this guy, former astronaut Don Pettit, says that we don't currently have the technology to go to the moon anymore, let alone to Mars, because for some unknown reason we destroyed that technology.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it.
Now, if you want me to believe that you went to the moon in the first place, is that a good answer? Why would you
why would you destroy the technology?
Now you just accomplished the greatest feat in human history. Okay, just the greatest feat in human history, and you don't go back. You take the technology after the Apollo missions. You take the technology and you destroy it. Does that make any sense? Anybody?
Doesn't make any sense. I mean,
right, that's his answer.
They saw something up there that was best kept between them.
I think they saw Jackie Gleason's
This
face.
is a possibility, but have you ever went on any social medias and searched out NASA fails? Yeah. So they have the NASA channels. You ever see them? I'm sure you had.
Listen.
The guy
we're breaking John's heart. I don't want to do it.
John, the guy, he's got the card. It's floating in the air 1 second, then it falls on the ground like there's no gravity.
I'm a big conspiracy theorist guy. I want to do some research and come back on.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you what, I am going to pull up for next time you come back on. I'm going to pull up those videos that I'm talking about to you. Please. Okay. And one other thing is you can check this out, and I want you to research this, John, because this is important. Take a look at the Apollo mission press conferences. Okay, you can watch those videos, and they talk about. They ask all these astronauts what they saw when they were out there. What did you see when you were out there? Mm-hmm. And they said nothing, just the blackness of space. Nothing, no stars, you can't see them. Mm-hmm. Just the blackness of space. Every Apollo astronaut says that. Now, fast forward to the NASA channel, right? And they ask them what they see when they're out there doing spacewalks and stuff like that. And what do they say? The guy's like, oh, you can see everything. You can see the nebulas, the stars, the moon, everything. Go back to the Apollo astronauts, nothing. Black. You can't see stars when you're out.
I mean, if we,
John, do your research, get ready.
And when you come back, those clips will be waiting for you.
That's right. Now, Vegas Wayno. Right now, John Henson is going to research to see if this is real or not. What do you think after hearing me and John Manning breaking his heart?
What scares me is that there are millions of people.
Careful, Wayno. All right.
Like you two guys sitting in their basement with beers.
How do you know that I'm in my basement?
Stuff like this. I mean, it's just, you guys are just nuts. John.
Well, that we know for sure. Hey, here he is, folks. I can't believe John Henson, out of nowhere, our regular guest, the masked megastar. Welcome in. We cannot tell you where he is. We don't know where he is because he has a few hits out on him. Masked megastar, are you first safe and sound?
I'm safe right now.
Okay, could you tell us what country you are currently in, if you want?
I'm in Central America,
Could you tell us specifically?
Guatemala.
John Henson, we have a guy calling in from Guatemala. When you were asked to come on this podcast, did you ever think we would bring on a 7-time world champion wrestler coming to you via satellite from Guatemala?
I thought he would say Culiacan. You know, he's got the Lucha Libre going on, but we'll take Guatemala.
Right. But you have to understand why he has Lucha Libre on. He's a 30-year TV veteran who has hundreds of undercover stories. He's a 7-time world wrestling champion and is in a feud with Little Tokyo currently. Masked Megastar, could you tell John Henson what that feud is about very quickly and why you have to hide from everyone?
The feud with Little Tokyo started years ago when I got hit in the back of the head with a chair by one of his henchmen, the Missing Link.
The missing link.
The missing link. So, John, he has had a war with Little Tokyo where they have tried to take each other's lives, and to keep him safe, we do have to put him in remote locations. Do you understand that, John Henson?
I completely understand it. I get it.
Are you a fan of professional wrestling?
I used to be a large fan of professional wrestling when I was younger.
You don't remember the Masked Megastar?
I don't remember the Masked Megastar.
He is a 7-time world champion.
By the way, side note, I love the studio. I forgot to say that.
Oh, thanks, man.
Wow.
Appreciate that. Wow, he likes the studio.
So I'm going to actually credit
the studio.
The man to my right, John Manning, built this with his own hands.
Oh, man, that is nice.
And I also,
thanks, John.
On that same note, want to say dearly sorry for your loss of your mom and dad in the off season.
Thank you.
They're right here.
They're right over here.
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad over his left shoulder. They're with us in mind, body, and spirit, as is my dad, whose birthday was yesterday. Would have been 80. So very, very special moments and shows. We've got a lot of power here. We've got the Masked Megastar, Vegas Ueno, John Henson, former first-round draft pick of the Milwaukee Bucks, 2-time ACC Defensive Player of the Year, taking his time out after a long trip from, spending a lot of time in New York City. He's back at home, and what a beautiful studio he has. Thank you so much, John, for joining us. And now we're in therapy right now. We're going to solve a big, what I believe is a 31-year rift, John, and this is why I brought you on, and I'm glad, Masked Megastar, you're here. John Manning. We have a very special guest coming up in just a moment, Khalil. He is going to be a new character, a new face on the show. Khalil, you keep standing by, but let's get to the rift between Wayne Avery and myself. Okay, John Henson, Masked Megastar, and John Manning, are you ready for the story? Just say yes.
Yes,
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to say this, Wayno. You can stop me at any time if I'm incorrect. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that'll give me probably like 2 seconds in, but go ahead.
Okay, here we go. The year is 1992. Wayne Avery and my father are drinking at the same bar in Elizabeth, New Jersey. It's called the Pastime Tavern. It's no longer there. It's right by the New Jersey Turnpike.
All right.
Okay. My father knows his young son, maybe 18 or 19 at the time, wanted to get into television. So he passes along my number on a coaster, go figure, to Wayne Avery and says, my son wants to get into television. Now, at that time, Vegas Wayne Avery was the Walter Cronkite of Elizabeth, New Jersey, John Henson. He did local radio. He was our local play-by-play guy for the high schools, Elizabeth High School. His voice is golden. And he brought me into TKR Cable, where in 1992, after starting as an intern, I was promoted ahead of him. And he has since claimed that I stole his job, John Henson and Masked Megastar.
Hard to do.
Now, Vegas Ueno, you could add whatever you'd like. I want them to hear it, and they're deciding today who's at fault in this war over two great TV personalities.
Yeah, I think a lot of it goes back to one or two of us had an issue with maybe one or two Budweisers here and there.
Okay, so we had some alcohol problems.
We had some
What's
alcohol
the problem with that?
And
I don't see
you continued to drag me out all different places and got me in trouble.
Oh, so Wayno, you're saying that this was a setup?
Yeah.
Time out.
You're saying that
Time the
this was a
fuck out,
setup?
Wayno. I dragged you, John Henson, Mass Megastar, and John Manning. How could an 18 or a 19-year-old drag out a man to a bar? I was underage. He had to get me into the bars.
Who drove to the bars?
Who drove? Who drove?
I did. That's because you didn't have a license.
Okay,
Oh.
you drove to the bars. We hung out there, and every time, just like he's saying, I would be blamed because here's an underage kid who probably drank more than I did, but I was with him.
All right, so Wayno, you're taking underage kids out to bars.
I didn't take them. He took me.
All right, you've just admitted that. I mean, that's not really a good look. I'm not going to lie to you.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there because we've got enough of early evidence that I could go first to Henson. Henson, early evidence. How does this look? I don't think he's paying attention.
No,
Can you
no.
hear?
I'm
I'm trying to process this.
No, I'm thinking you're to give me early evidence. I'm waiting. So this is just what I've heard.
Yeah, no, this is just as early on in the story. We got Vegas Wayno saying that I dragged him out to bars, yet I was 18 at the time. What does that tell you?
Tells me it's a man that knows how to have a good time. Match made in heaven.
Whoa! Mass Megastar. I don't know if I like that answer. Go ahead, Mass Megastar.
It's not a good look, Wayno.
Off. Get him off. Get him off. Oh, no, he's back. He's back. Mass Megastar, your opinion.
Not a good look, Wayno. Sorry.
Wow. Not a good look, Wayno. Okay. So Wayno, you said that there were problems that you would get blamed for. What were the problems and why did I and why would I get promoted to be the head play-by-play guy of Elizabeth High School sports and sports director if
I still haven't figured it out.
What?
I still haven't figured it out because you were just a nutcase.
What does that mean?
I haven't figured it out yet, but you.
What Wayno was trying to say was you would coax him to bars because you knew that he had a weakness for the bars.
Wow.
You would coax him out to the bars, get him intoxicated, and then use his intoxication against him.
Wow.
With the higher ups at the station, so you could.
First of all, let me just say this: there were no higher ups at the stations. We're talking about TKR Cable in Elizabeth.
All right, so whatever.
What kind of higher ups are we talking about here?
Like the manager at
Do you understand what this was like doing TV back then? We were dragging like these little thin cables through mud, and I'm going to tell you this right now, John Henson. Guess who didn't drag the cables through mud? Vegas Wayno.
I didn't. I was a talent.
Vegas Wayno. You said he was the Walter Cronkite of Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Yeah, but
it's like
what I was paid to do. I was paid to talk.
Wow.
He was there for that golden voice.
So here we go. So let's look at this, John Henson. I worked behind the scenes like a son of a gun. Okay, I shot with I used the video camera. I edited. I pulled cable. I worked side by side with Al Batanko. Al Batanko, by the way, is the only guy I know. John Henson and Mass Megastar, and John, swear to God, this happened. He shows up late on a Tuesday for work. He was our editor. He was our lead editor and camera guy. Late again, right? We love him, but he was late. He had bruises from his wrist all the way like under his armpits because the night before, I swear to God, he did this. He took his boat out with no gas. And he ran out of gas in the middle of the ocean. Decided to jump in a lifeboat, John Henson, and thought he could paddle himself to shore about 2 miles out.
Oh my God!
This is what people from New Jersey do. Okay,
I've run out of gas before. It's a very tragic situation.
Well, let me ask you this, Henson: how do you run out of gas? See, I understand why Al Batanko could run out of gas. I need to understand this.
I was out all day. I wasn't really paying attention to the because where I park my boat, it's at a dry dock, so usually they fill it up for you. So I'd never had to worry about it, but they hadn't been filling it up recently due to some new rules. You needed to do it yourself. Had no idea, and I had to be towed back, going 2 knots when I was about 40 minutes out. You do the math, and
listen, on boats it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Cito loves it. They love it.
To sign up for the $2,000 membership to even get them to come. So it cost me $2,000.
Yep. They got you. You run out of gas on the water, you're done.
Luckily, we had some fun things on the boat, so we had a good time.
But how many folks were on the boat on the
3 guys, 4 girls.
Oh, all right.
John, I will run out of gas. Yeah. With 3 guys and 4 girls, as long as the other guys are not John Manning and Vegas Wayno. And now I'll take the masked megastar. Any guy that wears a mask, John Henson, crazy shit happens. You know that?
Yeah. Listen, if the masked megastar comes to Tampa, I'm gonna have a boat day, and he will be on the boat.
Shit!
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah. No, listen, the masked megastar will hold you to that, Henson.
I'll hold you to that.
Listen, I swear.
Megastar, you get on.
All right, clearly, masked megastar, you have a huge fan here. Could you tell Henson and everyone your biggest match, your biggest victory in your career?
Albatenko.
Let's not talk about Albatenko. I got to know about.
He beat Albatenko for the title.
I need to know who Megastar's biggest win was. And what year?
My biggest win was against Salvatore Bellomo.
And what happened? Tell us. What was it for a title? Where was it?
It was at the War Memorial in Buffalo, New York, and I won the Western States Heavyweight Championship.
What made that one so special against Bellomo?
It was just the previous time I had wrestled him, I got attacked from behind by the Steve Lombardi, the Brooklyn Brawler.
Oh my God, that Lombardi was some son of a bitch.
Well, it's 2
real louse
guys sticking together, you know. And and it was bitter. It was sweet for me because I took my belt back from him.
Well, it's a great win, great.
Nice.
So getting back to Albatenko and the story, how I have to swing it all back. Vegas Wayno, as I'm telling you, Henson, Megastar, and Manning, I'm pulling cable. I'm working with Batenko, who's coming in late because he's fucking running out of gas like Henson out in the middle of the ocean. What's going on? And then I get ahead, and Vegas Wayno has been spreading the rumor for years that I stole his job and I want it ended today.
Well, some people, what you're saying is like you could
Double G
interpret it as kissing ass too. You know what I mean?
What
could be kissing ass, right?
Double G, I am at my time limit. I have to slide out of here. I'm going to meet someone.
Oh, listen, John, I got to say, you are a trooper all the way through. We're going to replace you right away with Khalil, but I want to thank you right now.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
You are. All right. I want to say this before John goes. I have to try to be serious for a few moments and say John is a kid who gets into the TV business, and Megastar, you know this, long time in the business, right? Vegas Wayno, you know this. He comes in, no ego, zero. Super, super duper nice kid. Awesome. Which is why I understand why he's made it as far in life as he has, coming on shows like this and just being a good old-fashioned nice guy. And John, as always, we wish you the best. We're going to go golfing soon. We're going to have the Megastar on the boat. And, of course, you're going to find out that the moon landing didn't happen.
That's right.
I'm a big doc guy, so I will be researching. And I'm traveling a little bit this next week, so I'm coming back on. We'll talk. We'll have a real discussion.
We love you, Tom. We love you. Be well, and keep betting against the Mets. John Henson. Thank you.
Right now, there's a big no going on right now. Hey, Verlander's threw for 1 hit, and then Cole's throwing a no-hitter right now.
Oh shit! Let's get to it. All right, John, get to it, buddy. Go bet that game. Love you, brother.
All right, John. Thanks, buddy.
Here he comes. Bring him in, Khalil. I can't believe the patience of Khalil.
Khalil,
are you there?
It's dark.
I'm here. I'm in my Uber right now.
There you go.
Khalil, what happened to the lights?
What happened to the lights? Oh, I left the truck and hopped in the Uber. We closed up the truck at 8:30, and I wasn't going garage, so I was like, I'm going home.
But there he is.
There you go.
All right, welcome. We lose John Henson, but we gain one of my dear, dear new friends in life, Khalil. Khalil, I want to introduce you to the crew. You are now going to be a regular character on this podcast. We have Vegas Wayno. Vegas Wayno, say hi to Khalil.
Hi, Khalil. How you doing?
How you doing, Vegas?
Ask Megastar, you know about Khalil. You know about his Chinese takeout. It's delicious. Say hi to Khalil.
How you doing?
What up,
Khalil?
man?
And John Manning, say hi to Khalil, one of the finest individuals in New York City.
Khalil, what's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy? What up, John?
And I appreciate Khalil. He waited to get onto the podcast. We had a lot of audio problems. I want to introduce him as one of the fine gentlemen behind Chinese Takeout, Khalil. Is that correct? Based out of Manhattan. And every time that we do this podcast, I'm going to mention Chinese Takeout and Khalil, and he's going to become a character, and we're going to get to know him more and more as the season goes on. But I'm going to give him the opportunity now to explain his business, Chinese Takeout, a little truck in New York City delivering nothing but, what did John Henson call it in the pregame meeting? What do you call it?
The vibes. I carry the vibes.
You carry the vibes. So tell us about the vibes you carry, Khalil. That's a bad sign. That is a bad sign. Okay.
He was just about to tell us about the.
All right, that's okay. Let's click him off. He will sign back in. Don't worry about it. We'll get him back on. That happens. It happens. Oh, here he is. He's back.
He's back.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm driving through the FBI.
I understand. I'm going to try to ask you again. We want to know about Chinese Takeout and the goods inside.
Okay, so Chinese Takeout is premium weed out of San Francisco and Colorado.
Nice. I don't think that was necessary.
All right, we lost him. My clapping for the freshest weed out of San Francisco.
Ruined Khalil's feed.
Good God.
I don't know how you did that, but
poor Khalil.
All right, well,
listen, we'll get to him.
We'll get back to him.
All right, all right. Listen, you might do a little editing there, but we lost Khalil. That's okay. John Henson had to leave us. Very popular guy, great guy, as you can tell. Do we agree, everybody, on John Henson?
Yes, and I think that he will eventually. Oh, here we go.
Oh, hold on, Khalil.
Megastar.
All right, Khalil. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Here we go. We're going to give you a quick chance. Chinese Takeout, go.
Chinese Takeout, the best marijuana or cannabis in New York, grown by cultivators for cultivators. We have premium prices. We have quality. I don't know what to say other than we got the best weed.
That's it. I smoke it. So does the mass megastar, and he's so damn high. We just lost him. Look at him. I introduced him to Chinese Takeout months ago.
Yeah.
I am a regular subscriber to the Egg Foo Young and of course the beef and broccoli. Yeah. But Khalil, let me tell you, just talk about some of what you have to offer.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We have sativas, indicas, hybrid indicas, hybrid sativa strong. OG. Then we get to the names of each plant that we grow. We rotate 4 plants every growing cycle. So right now it's green crack, OG Kush, platinum Kush.
Green crack.
Yes, green crack. I just say sativa strong and indica strong because we're always rotating, and sometimes San Francisco.
I don't hear anything anymore.
Okay, just a quick cutout. He'll cut back in, so he's just describing his stuff. Yep. And Johnny will be putting up all the pictures and stuff like that.
Some green
we
crack.
Love it. Okay, here he is. Okay, we stopped with green crack, Khalil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So green. All right. So green crack, I believe, is a sativa-based cannabis. It's very potent in THC. I think 15 to 16.
Like green crack, it should be, right?
Yes. It's highly addictive too.
Green crack. All right, listen, Khalil. This is what we're going to do because you keep cutting out. We talked about the product. We talk about your takeout. We're going to put up the beautiful sites for everybody to see. When you settle in, off of your drive. If you want to call back in and we're still doing the podcast, we'll keep going. But we're going to see you the remaining weeks, okay?
Okay.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much for hanging in. Khalil, the master of Chinese takeout. Thank you, Khalil. We're going to see you soon. Dial back in if you can. All right. Mass Megastar. Let's pop him back up.
Where is he? There he is. All right.
Hey, Mass Megastar. How you doing, buddy?
Good. You guys got me?
Yeah. We know. We were talking about Chinese take, and I said you got so damn high from it, you clicked off.
Have you ever tried green crack?
I haven't tried that yet. No.
No green crack. I can't have any of it. Isn't that horrible? I can't do it.
I know, because you get drug tested.
I can't do it. If we get hurt at work, they drug test us right away.
What a joke.
And you can fight it. You can fight it, but the problem is so we did a safety meeting. We did a safety meeting when you first got on my job site, and I asked them about it because they said it was, it's recreational. The guy goes, oh, it's recreational now, so yeah, it's kind of like a gray area. I'm like, well, what does that mean? You can't, you know what I mean? Like, what happens? They said, if I get hurt, what happens? Well, then we have to test you. I said, okay, so if I get tested and I have that in my system, what happens? And they were kind of like, oh, we'll have to let the lawyers duke it out. Like, I want to deal with that.
Exactly.
Right. I get thrown off the job. I get put on a builder list. I can't work anymore.
And you got to deal with shyster lawyers.
And even if I have a slam dunk case, I still got to go through getting a lawyer and going through for months and months and months. Right?
Mass Megastar for weed. I mean, as a professional wrestler and a 7-time champion who's running right now from Little Tokyo, how important is the plant to you?
Oh, it's enormous. It helps with everything. Pain, anxiety, everything. Helps me sleep.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure a lot of other wrestlers as well, Megastar, are using.
Everybody's using it. I'd say 90% of them are using it. Yeah.
Vegas Wayno.
John, how about mushrooms?
Yes. I get high on life.
I don't believe they test for that, but I mean,
I don't think there is a test for that.
I don't think there is a test for it. So, is there green crack in that pipe? That's all I want to know.
Let me just tell you this. Listen, I'll tell you this. Vegas Wayno, how many years are you sober? Let's say it right here on the air.
29 years.
Wow. Vegas Wayno.
And he's now smoking green crack from the pipe.
He just fell off the wagon smoking green crack.
And I'll tell you this: how do you segue into the next card that I flip up? Get the picture that my daughter made. Right?
Oh yes, hold on 1 second. I got to minimize this.
Yeah, we tried to get to this last week, but I need therapy from this, fellas.
It's loaded up here. When you're ready, you let me know.
We're episode 1, season 2, People Talking Sports and Every Other Thing podcast. Yep. I don't even think I got it right.
Yep.
John Manning, Double G, Mass Megastar, Vegas Wayno, just stars of the show. We had a couple very, very special guests. We had John Henson on the show, former Milwaukee Bucks first-round draft pick and 2-time ACC All-Defensive Player of the Year at North Carolina. We had Khalil, proprietor of Chinese takeout, weed in New York City, driving around there. It's a beautiful thing. And now we're in the middle of our therapy session. And I pull up the card that says fetish. Yes, I did. Okay.
All right.
Fetish. Look at the Mass Megastar chuckling already.
Well, I mean, he is wearing a sort of a fetish mask.
He's chuckling already because he loves his fetish too.
There we go.
If I told you that the Mass Megastar wasn't really a wrestler but an accountant, would you believe it?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
And this is only his persona on Wednesday nights.
Yep.
When the wife is out. Would you believe that? I'm only kidding, everybody, because he is a 7-time world champion. Vegas Wayno is a legend. He is smoking what we believe is green crack.
Smoking that green crack.
You know what?
And this is unbelievable. We turn to fetish action. Okay, here we go. So, Father's Day is on its way. My daughter drew a picture of her dad at school to honor her dad. I guess this was a portrait of her dad. Do you want to show it or do you want me to tell the story?
But it's up to you.
All right, I think I should just... No, F it. Just show the picture. Let me explain it. There it is. There's the picture that my daughter drew of me in her classroom, a portrait of me, Double G. Now, I just want you to notice a few things about that picture. I am called Feet King. King. I have feet for ears, and I have feet for a nose.
Yep.
That is because I have a foot fetish. Okay, now I'll leave it to you guys. Go ahead, ask the question. How does my daughter know I have a foot fetish? And then draw this picture. I do like the 6-pack abs, by the way, and that is absolutely correct. It is because I rub her mom's feet.
Right.
I rub her mom's feet,
All
and
right.
she says, "Why does Dad rub your feet?"
Because
And
you're the feet king, bro.
I'm the
Of course.
feet
What are you
king.
gonna
So
do?
there is a picture by a 10-year-old
You know?
girl in
Wow.
5th grade, and I need therapy, guys.
Yeah, that's
I actually don't think it's a bad thing. I'll leave it up to you, John Manning, Vegas, Wayno, Megastar. Have at it.
So
you
I think the initial question for everybody is gonna be like, "Well, how does your daughter know that you have a foot fetish?"
I just told you.
I know you just told me. So that would be the only real
So is that a problem?
question. The pictures funny and disturbing at the same time. I don't know why. I don't know how I feel about it, but that's just me, Gino. You know.
My question would be, maybe we could find some place for these kids to live until we figure out what this problem is.
Wayno, one place I will not send them is Las Vegas. Because I don't need them spending time next to you 24/7 at the nickel slots.
At least they'll know how much 5 nickels are, or, 4 quarters. At least they'll be learning something.
So true. Yeah, we would say, true story, Megastar and Manny. He'll always send me his big wins, right?
Right.
It'll just be a ton of coins. I don't know what they mean. I'm thinking he won like $5 grand, $4 grand. He goes, "No, it's nickels."
Yeah.
And at that point, I don't feel like counting what that even means. And he's like telling me what it is.
5,000 nickels.
He's like, "That's 5,000 nickels." I go, "So what does that mean?
Yeah.
Was it $5? I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? You need a calculator.
I don't care." Are you Vegas, Wayne? Are you ever going to move on to bigger and better games?
Well, if I had worked a little bit longer, and if I had a couple more years in before you stabbed me in the back, maybe my pension would be higher, and I would be making more money, and then therefore I'd be able to play those higher machines.
Wow.
You had an opportunity after I left, and I moved on to an 8 Emmy Award winning career to do bigger and better things. But you did. Behind you are the Hall of Fame plaques. How many
halls of fame are you in?
Yeah. How many?
I'm on the wall of fame at MSG. Do you have the picture?
No, I don't think so.
I sent that to you.
I don't think I have that.
It's like the greatest picture of my life. Me on the
wall
wall of fame.
Picture, and I don't believe it. This is the greatest picture of my life. Ready, man? Let's
go.
Greatest picture of my life right there. That's the greatest picture of my life.
That's Jimmy Superfly Snook and a young John Manning, everyone.
Right. That's right. It was unbelievable. That was an unbelievable day. I think it was at the College of Staten Island, if I'm not mistaken. He fell that far. That's how far he fell down. He was doing, WWF stuff. He was the man. And then he's, with the honky tonk man in the College of Staten Island.
I love the honky tonk man. Greatest intercontinental champion.
You know what? No, it wasn't the honky tonk man. You know who it was? You know who else was there with him? Greg the Hammer Valentine. That was who was there. That was who was there with him. And Greg the Hammer Valentine looked like he ate Greg the Hammer Valentine. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Well, I'm going to ask Mass Megastar, have you ever had the figure 4 slapped on you by the Hammer while he was yelling racial epithets at you? Have you ever had it done to you?
Yes, once. Yeah.
How'd it go?
Can you hear me? It was okay. Yeah. It wasn't that bad.
It was okay.
It was okay.
I got to the ropes. I broke the hold. It was great.
Oh, all right.
You did?
All right. So he only had it momentarily.
Was it Dick Worley that was the referee? Dick Worley?
Dick Worley. I remember him. Squirrely Whirly.
Squirrely Whirly. What's wrong with you guys?
Can we get back to my foot fetish, please?
Yeah, all right. I don't know.
All right. Again, you guys just take me off base. Where I have so Wayne had said, it got us off on this tangent, that maybe the kids should be taken away.
Right.
Mass Megastar, as a proprietor of many, 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 many masks, do you find anything about having a foot fetish uncomfortable?
No, not at all. There are plenty of things that are far worse than a foot fetish.
It becomes uncomfortable when your kids know about it.
Oh.
Well, I am taking care of their mother's cute little
and draw pictures of it in school.
Well, listen, then they know I love her mother.
Did anybody say anything to you about the foot pictures from the school?
Oh boy.
if it was a female psychiatrist, I would ask, do you have nice feet?
Yeah.
Because if you do, could I come visit? Maybe I could rub your bunion.
Oh. And you have a foot fetish? I have the exact opposite of a foot fetish.
So listen, on fetishes, right? Megastar has a mask on.
Yeah.
And I know we talked about it last week. It never made air, but we'll talk about it now since we are talking about masks and fetishes and foot fetishes and pictures.
Yeah. Lose your microphone.
Mask.
God, I gotta repair.
Mask Megastar. Have you ever been to a fetish club? I know you were in New Orleans. Any other fetish clubs that you've,
I've been to a few. I've been to the Vault in Manhattan. Have you been there?
Yes, been there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Vault.
I've been to the Green Door in Vegas.
Were you there with me?
I think I was there with you, and I was also there with your cousin Vin. Another
Hey, listen! Don't mention any names; he'll get mad at you.
Oh, boy.
You might have to bleep that out. You know what I mean? Yes, I was also at the Green Door. I just didn't know if I was with you. That's in Las Vegas. Wait, is it still open? Do you know anything about the Green Door?
I don't know anything about the Green Door. Why would you ask me that question?
Because you were also at my bachelor party, and I don't know if you were at the Green Door with me.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, so maybe you did go to the Green Door.
No, John, I can guarantee you that wherever him and his friends were, I was somewhere else.
All right.
Believe me.
All right.
I even stayed in a different hotel.
He did. That is true. That is true. And we did go to the Green Door, where there were some shenanigans going on, as we say, Mass Megastar. I could tell you the thing that I saw that really shocked me was someone on a swing as I was downing a beer, and I was looking to my left, and someone on the swing was swinging with their legs up, if you know what I mean. Do you remember anything of those instances when you were there, Megastar?
Craziest thing you ever seen at a sex club, Megastar? Go.
Craziest thing I ever saw at a sex club?
Yeah.
Was I saw a guy walking around in his tighty whities with a fanny pack on. I know.
All right. That's.
Is that a fetish club or 7th Avenue?
Yeah, that's. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah, no, but you see that every day walking.
I see that every day, Megastar. Yeah. Somebody got stabbed on 7th Avenue. You know what? Let me go to that. I need therapy very quickly. 7th Avenue, Vegas, Wayno. It was on the front page of the New York Post. You can see the video yourself, Megastar, John Manning. 2 guys got into a knife fight on 7th Avenue directly.
I saw that today.
Yes, that is right outside my door.
Really? Okay.
It was interesting. It was on a Friday morning rush hour, John, right in the middle of 7th Avenue, a crosswalk.
All right.
Right where I get my coffee. No, I wasn't there, thank God.
Oh.
Okay. Shocking. Usually I'm there on a Friday. Certain people don't have to go on a Friday. That's for another show. Whoa!
He's still sucking up, Wayno. See?
All right. These 2 guys, swear to God, Megastar, a homeless guy and a man wanted for murder in another state get into a fight that leads to a knife fight. It's going on in the middle of traffic where women are actually passing by and cutting through the middle of the knife fight.
The women are cutting through the middle of the knife fight?
Wayne, you're laughing. Look, I swear to God, it happened.
I saw the video. I saw it earlier today.
And then there's a woman wearing a mask, an older lady wearing a mask, walking right by them, more afraid of COVID than the knife fight that's happening right next to them.
Yeah, well, come on.
And I said, where the fuck do I work?
Yeah, well.
This is going on at 8:30 in the morning in the middle of the biggest fucking city in New York, in the world. Yeah. Supposedly the greatest city in the world. Wow. I think not. There's 2 guys fighting with a knife.
No, the city's a disaster, dude.
So one guy gets killed. One guy gets killed, right? The guy wanted for murder gets killed, right? Yep. Karma. The homeless guy who has the knife, bigger than the other guy. The other guy just should have ran and said he duped up and he got stabbed. Oh, well, you're an idiot. Darwinism, right? The other guy's going to jail. Another part of Darwinism. And I got to work in this shit. I need therapy.
I'm surprised anybody's going to jail. I'm not going to lie to you.
Help me.
I thought they stopped putting people in jail in the city, for anything.
I just need help. PTSD, everybody.
Yeah, it's not good. The city's in bad shape. In bad shape.
I think you are beyond help, really. If you really want to,
Yes.
Beyond.
You won the city. Beyond help.
I'm going to leave on that note. I'm ending the podcast.
You're in the podcast? What are you talking about? You can't end the podcast?
What is
We need
that?
to talk about this guy right here.
Oh, shit.
We need to talk about Phil Colicchio.
Oh, shit.
Where the hell is Phil Colicchio?
All right. You're right.
I mean, really.
This is how we're ending it. But the question will be, where is Phil Colicchio on this podcast?
Yeah.
A veteran of the podcast. He is a member of the podcast. He is just benched for episode 1, season 2, Megastar Vegas Waino.
And why did you bench him, Gino?
I benched him because I had a pre-production meeting a week ago.
Right.
As I was taking my son to practice, hockey practice in Woodbridge, Vegas Waino showed up. The Mass Megastar showed up. John Manning told me he wasn't going to show up, and I appreciated the text.
And I didn't get benched.
Phil Colicchio. Now, I want to make this clear. Everyone saw in the text message that he agreed to come on the pre-production Zoom. Yes or no?
Yes.
I did.
Okay.
He
didn't show.
I thought I saw it.
Yeah, no, you saw it. So Phil Colicchio, if this was his team, and he's one of the great basketball coaches in New Jersey history, if his guy didn't show up, his star player didn't show up, would he play him the next day? No. So this shirt still remains.
Depends on who they were playing against.
That is true.
Right.
Wow, Waino.
Well, so let me ask you, what happened with
He just ripped Phil, and I love it.
So what happened with Phil anyway? You said maybe you think because they lost to some kind of like amateur team or something like that.
The Scotch Plains in the first round of the goddamn state tournament. Now he doesn't want to.
They even have a team, Scotch Plains.
I did honestly. They were at one point. I thought they were good at basketball, right, Max?
They're a good soccer program.
I was going to say, so maybe they lost to the soccer team because they got a good soccer.
From what I understand, that the starting point guard for Scotch Plains did get hurt, and they replaced him with the striker from the soccer team. I'm sorry, Phil. We love you, and this shirt is yours. A signed Timmy Murphy jersey is gonna go to Phil Colicchio. He earned it as a former guest of the week, but he is benched for this week because of missing and not even contacting me before or after.
Wow.
He's benched.
Wow.
Are you sure it wasn't good? You just couldn't include him in the FaceTime thing because you had trouble with that.
I can't tell you how exhausted I am just to put this goddamn thing on.
It's a possibility that
I have spent 78 hours, and we did it, boys. Season 2, episode 1. Give yourselves a round of applause.
All right.
Come on, Max Megastar.
I don't even have to do it.
We had a great show. John Henson, Khalil, you guys. I mean, this was for Chris Mers and the crew, your mom and dad, my dad up in heaven. So we're going to get to Megastar's life-threatening surgery. He almost lost his life. We still don't know if that had anything to do with his feud with Little Tokyo.
You know it did. He opened up a restaurant in the Freehold Mall. I told you that, right? Tokyo. Sent you guys a picture. I couldn't believe it. Like, this guy went from walking the Mass Megastar to opening up a Chinese joint in Freehold Mall.
Hey, Mass Megastar, at least we know where to find them.
Yeah.
There we go.
We'll get Salvatore Belomo's guys on him.
Salvatore Belomo. Oh, my God.
All right, guys, listen, thank you so much. Let's wrap this one up. I think it was a good one. I think the podcast was a tremendous success. Thank you all. Thank you to the viewers if you made it through it. Thank you, John Henson, Khalil, John Manning, Vegas Waino, and, of course, the Mass Megastar and all of our families that have to deal with us. Thank you all, and good night.
Good night.
We're talking sports and every other thing. We're talking sports and every other thing. We're talking sports and every other thing.